been working here for years now, and it never...
Lauren just whispered. What'd you say?
It's cold down here.
Oh, well, I'm pretty warm.
You know how to live in Edinburgh now, well. Even though, I mean, you think you're safe down here, but you're really not. But you'll find out why in a second. Right, are we all good? Has everyone got a spot they're relatively comfortable standing in? It'll be good. Well, everybody, welcome to the South Bridge Vaults. Now, just to give you a bit of an idea to where it is we are now, directly above our heads is the South Bridge. So that road I pointed on the way down here that's got buses, cars, people crossing at this very moment is now above our heads. But if you listen, apart from the guide up ahead of us there, you can't hear any of that noise above. That is because we're actually on the lowest level of the South Bridge Vaults now. So you've actually got the room that we're currently standing in here. There used to be another room just above our heads, so you'll notice the obvious red floating door above your heads on this side. There's a bricked off doorway on the other side as well. If you look next to it, the ceiling is a lot lower. It would have been the same in here too. So you've got the room that we're currently standing in, the room that used to be above our heads. There is one more room, and then the bridge itself. So we are so far below ground, we can't hear any of that noise above us. Now the South Bridge itself, it was first in 1785, took around 3 years to complete. Now its sole purpose is to connect the Old Town of Edinburgh to the University District, but it also became Edinburgh's first shopping district. So there was businesses up on that bridge. You had the likes of cobblers, leather workers, jewellers, blacksmiths, bookbinders, wine merchants, grocers, all up there on the bridge. And they're using the space down here. Now the smaller rooms that we just walked by, these are all under the buildings here. Now all of those small rooms are used for storage. Now you would actually have heavy wooden doors that protecting your property. You may have also noticed some of the rooms there had little shelves in them as well. Some of them also have numbering. You'll see that throughout the vaults. It is normally used for stock checking, but you might not have that room all to yourself. You could be sharing with another business. So numbers were also good to know which part of the store is down here was yours. But the rooms that we're standing in now, these larger rooms, well, these are used as small businesses and workshops. But take a moment to think about that. People are working down here. Now they can't afford candles like these, they're far too expensive. Instead, what they have to use are small oil lamps known as cruisy lamps. These would be attached to the walls just like the candles you will see down here. They give a very little light and they're burning fish oil. So you can just imagine the glorious aroma of burning fish in the air. And then with a lovely bucket that would have been down here as well. The smells are delightful. And they're all going to build up in these rooms. There's no windows, there's no ventilation down here. But that also means there's no windows to empty your buckets out of either. You're going to have to carry your bucket all the way up the stairs. Now, if you're working in this room, you can't go the way that we came in today because that entrance is not original. That was actually bricked over when we first started here. We opened up the here to get access around all of the vaults, made it a little bit easier for ourselves. So you'd actually have to come in from the other side of the bridge, make your way through the business next door to then get in here. So you're going to have to go all the way through the other business and climb up those stairs. It wasn't really ideal. On first glance, you might think it looks like candle wax. It's stalagmites. We've also got little baby stalactites here forming the vaults to this day. Because as some of you may already know, we do tend to get a little bit of rain here in Edinburgh. But no one thought it was a good idea to walk. Be seeping through the brickwork and into these rooms as well. So it's no surprise that within the first 20 years, those businesses, they move out. It was them. Squatters and criminals move in. People are living down here. Now, I mentioned briefly before we came down here about the slum clearances. They were demolishing buildings to create new tenements there to try and improve conditions of the old town. But all of these tenements that they're demolishing, they've got all of that rubbish, nowhere to put it. The no conditions down here are just as bad. By the 1860s, these vaults have been forcefully abandoned. All of that rubble is brought down here, the vaults are then filled in, and they're forgotten about for over 100 years, until the 1980s. That's when the vaults get rediscovered by one gentleman, his name is Norrie Rowan. He's an international rugby player turned property developer. Now Norrie's doing a little bit of work on one of his properties. He notices that a wall looks different to this, like it's been bricked over. So he does what any curious man would do. He got a pickaxe and went at that wall. Now he brought the wall down, found room after room, all filled with rubble. He got a team together and they dig these vaults out by hand. Now, there's no easier machines down here. They had to use wheelbarrows, pickaxes, shovels. It took at least, she's excitable today, it took at least 10 years to clear out these vaults. But in 1995, he approaches Desbrook, and Des is the founder of Mercateers, and the following year, we're bringing groups just like you down here. We're feeling it's a rather unique location for our history tours, or an atmospheric location for telling Edinburgh's ghost stories. But little did we know, we'd soon be having a few ghost stories of our own to tell, from people just like you. People have came on our tours from all over the world at different times of year, and they experience the same things over and over again. Now back then, of course, there's no way to share your experiences, but we were keeping records. Even to this day, we keep records of the things that go on down here. People walking around in the vaults, they'll say they're hearing voices, music, footsteps, other strange noises. There's nobody else down here at the time. Others will smell perfume, cigar smoke, alcohol that they know is coming from no one else on the group. And others would notice that despite it being a little bit warmer down here, as they walk from room to room, the temperature drops. Now you'll see as we walk around down here, all the rooms in the vaults, now they're all connected. There should be no reasons for any sudden change in the temperature down here. So you're standing on the roof just listening to the story, suddenly you realise the air around you has gotten very cold. You're now seeing your breath when you couldn't before. Well, that's not normal down here, so do keep an eye out for that. And then there are those who were seeing things down here. The most common, that'll be a shadow across the door off the distance, something lurking in the corner of your eye. Things that you can't simply put down, and it is dark down here, your eyes, your imagination, you're playing tricks. But then there are those who are seeing things that are unmistakable down here. Like I said, people from all over the world, they come at different times of year, but they see the same things over and over again. And in the room that we're currently standing, people describe to us 3 different ghosts. The first, he sits in this top corner here, just next to the door. Now if you do look over, mind what angle you look up at, he is wearing no clothing. We do believe he is one of the squatters who was living down here. He came down here from the harsh Edinburgh winds and he never left. Now he looks like he's floating mid-air, but that is simply because he is sitting in the room that used to be above us. Now the second was first in 2005, he's living on the right side of that doorway. And the lady who saw him, she got very excited. She told us that she sees standing in that doorway none other than Abraham Lincoln. Over there in that doorway. Now, of course, we knew that Abraham Lincoln, he's got nothing to do with Edinburgh. But more people came down here and are telling us that somehow they just saw the American president down here once. But then we really think about, well, during that time, people are dressing in very similar clothing. This gentleman, he looks like Abraham Lincoln. He's wearing a tall hat, he's got a beard that frames his face. He's wearing a rather nice suit, but the name Finney Mackenzie has been associated with this man. But the way he is dressed...
Yeah, it's very cool, huh? These are neat vaults.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
I don't know what was that last one. Sorry? Did people have to pay rent when they worked here? Did they have to pay rent for that?
Yeah, so some of them would have either bought the space or they would rent it, yeah. So what they would ideally want to do is to actually try and rent the space either really close or to do their business. And a lot of the times as well, so the ceilings that are in here, some